New comic book day, new comic book day. Oh, glorious comic book day. Let's see what we got going on today. Let's take a look. Let's roll the intro. Hey, what's going on, you wonderful weirdos? I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for swinging by. Love having you here. If you don't know, basically, I'm a middle-aged man. I read a bunch of comic books, and then I regurgitate whatever I see in it back to you. Also, at the end of the video, stay tuned, because we got some contest announcements and some other stuff going on in the comic book community that I definitely want to share with you. So let's jump right into it with DC this week, and we're going to start with Justice League number 62. So if you're not up to speed with this, and I get it, a lot of people kind of dropped Justice League for a while now, and we're kind of gearing back up into this whole future state, different universe thing. Basically, we're going to be diving more into Naomi's story here about her world and how it works. So our superheroes actually got put into this world. Flash kind of did some miscalculation or something. I don't know. Words and forguffins, right? So they're there, and for some reason all the men's powers are kind of more so the men, right? For some reason the women got a lot stronger, and the men are like Superman's off on his game, whatever the case may be. We meet Brutus, who we've met before, and we also meet, and I want to pronounce it Zumbra, something like that. He's the big bad of this world, and he personally knows Naomi, and that's going to be a problem because he killed her mothers. That happened. So, yep. We also get the Queen of the Mascara in here. Why she's in it, I don't know, but she's going to be our main superhero in this. Because we don't have enough. We have Black Canary, Green Arrow, Batman, Superman, Flash, and Green Lantern. We got Black Adam involved in all of this too. And we need another super strong hero, I guess. I'm not really sure where this is supposed to be taking us. The only reason why I'm really reading it at this point is because I'm more interested probably in the whole Naomi backstory, because we only got really a taste of that, and I didn't catch a whole lot of it in Teen Titans. So I'm kind of following along with it in here. Next, Crime Syndicate. We get an origin story, the secondary story in here. We'll start with that one. It's kind of an origin story of this Emerald Knight character that's basically a ripoff of the Green Lantern. We also get his place in the universe as it is now. So I think where this is going is what we know the Crime Syndicate as of our last issues, right? Like they were the ruling class, the ruling party. I think this kind of is just teaching us the struggle that they kind of went through to get it. All in all, it's fun. I like watching fractions of villains fight each other to try to figure things out, and then, you know, the superheroes kind of be this throwaway item in it. Definitely adds a little texture to storytelling, and it definitely did that in here. So this was fun. I recommend it. Next, Crushlobo. So at the beginning, I was just being funny. All in all, this is not an overly impressive story. It's going to be predictable at best. And I don't say that because it's our female heroine in here, if you want to call her that, is particularly homosexual or whatever she identifies to be with. It's not really my thing. I don't care about that. But the story in here basically is plain. It's not that interesting. We already know that Lobo wants her to come visit her in jail because he's going through therapy with a robot, and we know that that's going to be the big jailbreak. Like that was kind of just floated in your face. 90% of this book was nothing more than Crush self-complimenting herself, or making sure you, the reader, understood that she was strong and independent. And if we know anything about human nature, generally when people over-talk about how strong and independent they are, they're really doing that because they're not. So maybe they're adding that as sort of a level in here. I don't know. I'll read some more of it and see where this goes. It's not fair to completely shut down a story after one issue, so I'll be picking up some more of that. Next, Batman 109. So, Batman finally engages with Saint. of Saint Industries, the maker of the Peacemakers, if you will. And we get our first little battle between Peacemaker 1 and Batman in here, and I'm liking it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the story's drawn on, and that's where I think Future State kind of messed up. By giving us the ending already, like, we're just like, we know what's going to happen. But why am I reading the rest of this? And I could see that being a problem. But I'm more interested in the nuances of the story more than I am the ending of a story. So I'm still attracted to this. Also, Saint in this looks like a guy I know. It's creepy. Like, I don't know if the artist knows him or not, but okay. Moving on to Swamp Thing number 4. This is so intriguing to me because we find out more about the Green. And really, this issue is not for the long-term Swamp Thing fan, like the hardcore fan that read all the stuff or they're a follower of the story. This is really just to get everybody else that's kind of jumped on board with this Future State stuff to kind of explain what the Green is and how it works in the best way they possibly can. Because the Green's a MacGuffin. It can be anything at any given time. It can be good, bad, indifferent, a god, whatever the case may be. So in this, they kind of explain it in that kind of generality, if you will, and kind of set that forward. And we also find out the Suicide Squad's going to get involved on the last pages. Because Suicide Squad is everything right now. Like, they got more stuff going on with that, and I'm just like, oh, it's another tie-in. Okay, gotcha. Alright, let's see here. 0 Point, so the Batman Fortnite book. They're trying to, so the last one was nothing more than fanfare, and this kind of continues that, but this also solidifies Batman as the great detective, because he has to do a lot of detective work here. He immediately starts taking charge of a group, which, I don't know, just seemed kind of off-putting to me. He started barking orders, and everybody's like, all right. Like, one person questioned it. But we come to find out in this little group in the island where everybody kind of has a memory now, not of their past life, but being in the battle zone and then on this island. And they still don't know how they know each other, but they know each other. And we got a bunch of interesting characters that are based off the Fortnite characters, if that's your thing. I didn't much care for this. I haven't cared for this in a while. So why did you get it? Because I have a nephew. What's up, Ryan? And he's a Fortnite fan. And I'm the greatest uncle ever when I can give him a Batman glider to fly around in Fortnite in. And I would rather be his video game hero and suffer through a bad comic book. So, I'm a good uncle. What can I say? Alright, American Knights. So, we've been joking about this and joking. That this is just a ripoff of Batman. We already know. And I honestly don't know if the writers in this... Who's this? This is Aaron, I believe. Is it Aaron? Let's find out real quick. Let's see if it's Aaron. Yeah, Aaron and Guest. I don't know if they're like trolling with DC or if this is just like a kind of a prank thing, but these two books go together. And in this one, we make Luke Cage the commissioner of the Washington, D.C. Police Department, right? And he meets our Nighthawk character. I'm trying so hard not to say Batman because it's so on the nose, it's funny. And we even have a character in here. It's kind of like the Joker, right? There's a whole Joker thing going on in here as well with the Green Goblin laughing it up. And then we get some Daredevil action with him being more on the religious side. He's actually a priest, cult leader. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to call it for the House of Mephisto. And yeah, because that's a huge thing in here. So I'm starting to think that our world's topsy-turvy and moved all around because of Mephisto as a whole wanted to be a goal and probably changed everything because we don't know why this world is the way that it is and how some of our Avengers are starting to come to realize that ultimately with Black Panther figuring it out. And the other Avengers that are, I was going to say woke, but that's going to come off weird. That have a sense that something's not right, I think is the best way to do it. And they're kind of teaming up now. So we're moving forward with this. Again, I'm not picking up every tie-in for it. This is more of a puzzle for me than it is anything else. Like, oh, that's kind of like Blood the story and this DC story and that Marvel story. Like, it's a hodgepodge of all of them being kind of chucked in here into a comic book. So, yeah, it's not good, but it's challenging if you play the game, right? And that's, I think, what I'm enjoying about it most. Next, War of the Bounty Hunters. We officially launch off. I don't know why number 0 was number 0. That should have just been number 1. I don't know why this is. Usually a 0 just kind of sets up the characters and who they are and what to expect. It kind of sets the rules for the story, if you will. In this one, we find out immediately who steals Han Solo while he's trapped in carbonite. We find out that the Hutts, like Jabba the Hutt and that whole crew of space slugs, we find out that they actually have like a government of sorts. Like, I always thought Jabba the Hutt was like a crime lord. Like, I thought that was his deal, but apparently it's more sophisticated than that. Anyway, Jabba the Hutt finds out that this lady has it in space, who's got a problem with it. We also find out that Han Solo is the center of the universe. Like, everything revolves in a panel in here, or splash page, like Dr. Aphra and all the various Clone Wars stuff and all the stuff that I don't read. It's all connected to Han Solo, including Boba Fett. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to need another issue, as long as it doesn't give me issues. I'm going to need another read on this one, because I could see where it would be exciting, because there was a contract out on Boba Fett for all the bounty hunters to go out and get him, because Jabba the Hutt did that. But I'm not sure where this is going. Whatever. All right, so Immortal Hulk, it's almost ended, and I think it's about time. I'm not trying to be rude to Cates or any of the cast that have worked on this, but this has obviously played it out, and this issue kind of confirms that. She-Hulk decides to hang out with the Gamma people in this, right? That was most of the book was her narrating to herself about which side to pick and why to pick it. So she decides to stay with her own Gamma people. Gamma Flight's in here, and I don't know. It seems like they're so forced into this story it doesn't make any sense. And Betty Ross is still a red chicken head. There was a cool fight scene. The fight scene with the Avengers against Immortal Hulk, even though it was very quick, was very fun, and I love the artwork in it. Some of the banter was okay, but for the most part, the story's just kind of trying to get to a finish line. And we still don't know anything about this whole leader thing and the down below. And will somebody please explain to me what the green door is an analogy for? Because I'm not getting it. Everybody's like, it's an analogy or metaphor, and I'm like, of what? What's the meaning? You can escape hell? That's not how metaphors and analogies work. So I don't know. It is what it is. All right, now let's talk Spider-Man. So evil. This is so stupid. I'm totally breaking from the thing here. I did have a kind of middle of the road review of this one where I wasn't going to get too spicy or too drug into the mud with this one, but this is just stupid at this point. So we got a lot of action going on. Everything's a one-liner in this. That they way overused the one-lining puns, like the snarky mean girl. Oh yeah, take some web in the face, or my webbing has lavender and it's like lotion, because you gotta exfoliate. Well, really, you're just exfoliating everybody else, aren't you? You're shooting it at them. Didn't make any sense. It's a little over the top, but then we gotta dive into obvious Nazi villains, right? Because Zemo's involved, and there's a guy in the background that's making these pills. But what we come to find out is all the pills are being sold or distributed to these first-generation immigrant children who are doing very well for themselves but feel that they need some sort of edge, that they're in some sort of competition to get better grades or to go farther or whatever the case may be. And that's what this drug ultimately does. It boosts your brain power, if you will, but then it kills you, right? And I was like, that's guess, like, if you were going to go racist with it, like, it's a racist thing, I would think that you would, like, target, like, the poverty-stricken children and like, try to, like, that would really grab onto people. But kids that are doing extremely well and top performing and they're just taking drugs to edge out, you know, like, what was it? Like, back in the day, like, Ritalin was a thing. Kids were popping Ritalin in college because it would, like, wake you up and make you act faster or whatever the case may be. That's kind of what they're playing at in here, but they got to go with but we're going to give it to the first generation immigrant kids because we don't like them. Curse you. Kids from foreign parents. I don't know. It just doesn't play very well. It doesn't read. Like, I have no passion towards it. It's like, oh, you went that route. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to mispronounce this, and I just heard it the other night. Basculus? Basculus. So if you don't know, Basculus is think of it, it's an old European, Western European mythology, if you will. Basically, the lizard, the oversized lizard, has a toxic breath, and its gaze can kill you as well. Think of like a Medusa, but not stone you, like melt. So that's basically what we're doing in here. A bunch of, I'm going to assume, ancients that are tied to a lore, because we only got the one that we kind of understood. They rose up one day and they causing problems and killing people. One walked away, the basilisk, if you will, walked away from it all, and now girl's trying to hunt her down because she thinks she's part of them. So there's the misunderstanding. So now we got a buddy cop story. And they're going to go after the other ones, and the other ones know that they're coming. That's literally what happened in this book. Like, they could have cut half of this down. What is interesting in this, and I always find this kind of interesting, is that there's this kind of cult so these characters are established in the world. And there's this cult of true believers, right, that are kind of down with this whole thing. And that's interesting. I don't know why, but I'm like, I want to know more about that. Probably more than I do about the main characters. Yeah, it's weird. All right, so that's my haul this week. What else is going on? We got the Would You Rather contest that is happening. You have till Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to get your video in and get 3 boxes from the host, myself, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, and Huey. We'll be doing the announcement live Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Come by and join us. We're going to talk about some comic books too. Join us in the chat. Have a great time. It will be fun. Also, congratulations to Legion of Comics. He's up and over 800 subscribers. Congratulations. The dude's killing it. He's got a great little show over there going on. A lot of community involvement. Definitely a fun time with that. It was really cool to hang out with you on your show. I definitely enjoyed that. Also, I brought back my online auction. So if you like comic books, you like certain covers or something like that, you may want to check out the link down below for People's online auction. I just kind of did a soft hit to see if anybody would want any of this stuff. So it's out there. Everything starts at $1, and you have a third party that should be going through for your shipping to make sure it gets shipped to you the way that you want it shipped to you. Starting off at $1, guaranteed shipping. You can't beat that on a safe, secured website. I feel comfortable making sure you get your comic books that way. Other than that, I got nothing else, guys. I got to roll out of here. Have a happy and safe week. Talk to you later. Bye.